forward, breaking down the illusion, breaking down the veil. I am, of course, yours truly, Larry Locken, here with the Larry Locken 3 channel, with our handle at Arcturian Crystal Blue Angels /YouTube. That's in conjunction with our mothership channel, the Larry Locken 1 channel, at Pleiadian Express Productions /YouTube, and as well as 3 others. If you want to find out what they are, all you have to do is go to Facebook, go to a page called Pleiadian Groups and Page. Oh, no, that's the old name. See, I'm getting caught in that old paradigm. That's the old name of the page. The page for some time now has been under 2 names. Its regular name and its surname. The regular name of it, of course, is Rockin' Larry Locken's social media outlets. Rockin' Larry Locken's social media outlets. Or you can just type in the Larry Locken Network. Either way, it'll take you to a page. And you're going to find out everything that we're involved with our 5 YouTube channels. Everywhere else we're at on social media, our Facebook groups that we have. Most of these channels, all these 5 channels actually, they have the page that is related to them as well. They have a Facebook page by the same name. We're available on Twitter, now known as X. We're available on Facebook. Like I said, we're available on Snapchat, WeChat, Instagram, TikTok, Telegram. I'm trying to think of what else that we're on, I'm trying to really think of where we're not. Okay, so let me just tell you where we're not. We're not on SunCloud. We're not on LinkedIn. We're not on WeChat, and we're not on Oculus. The reason I know we're not on that 4, or even know about those 4, is because if you ever try to put a social link in your profile, whether that be on your personal profile on Facebook or whether you put it on a page that you have, put it on that profile, it gives you these options. It'll say, the name, and then it'll say what platform, or it'll say the link, and then it'll say the platform. Platform has all these options, and those are 4 of the options: the Oculus, the WeChat, the SunCloud, and the LinkedIn, which we're not on any of those 4. Okay, but we are, like I said, we're on Snapchat, Instagram, Telegram, TikTok, WhatsApp. We're on WhatsApp. We're on Twitch. We're on Reddit. We're on Twitter. Tumblr, I call it. Okay, it's Tumblr. It's TUMBLR. You see, I quit doing this for about 5 years. I didn't start back up again until about 6 months ago. It used to be years ago when I was on N5D, 11, 12 years ago, and, when I started up my own show, that, of course, like now, and I say too much, by the way, okay, so YouTube would be where we did our shows, like now. We had to run it through Google Hangout, though. It wasn't the same method as they do it now, I found. That took some getting used to, but all in all, it's okay, I suppose. Okay, so you could take a link, you could take your YouTube link, and you could post it to Facebook or post it to Twitter. What you couldn't really do then, not that you really couldn't, you couldn't go on Facebook Live because Facebook didn't have such an option yet. And really, Twitter was just used for posting links, or if you were going to do anything in the moment, it was mainly used for people to give a quick 2 or 3 sentence comment back and forth to each other. That's what Twitter was using. So those were the only 2 other options, to use, and they weren't really an option because you couldn't go live on either one of them yet. All right, not unless you had a station like N5D did on Blog Talk Radio. That was out and about, and there were a couple other things like that as well. And then, of course, there was the big, huge one of Coast to Coast AM, which a lot of people would listen to just to get some information out, even though they have long since been a network that has 22 minutes worth of news and commercials an hour. That's about right, 22 minutes of their hour long. They're 4 hours. Every 22 minutes, each hour is news and commercials. That's it, okay? And then a lot of jibber jabber and a lot of the same old guests over and over and regurgitated and recycled. And once in a while now, they only once in a while have like a true Starseeder light worker on there. Okay, and it's only, ones that are, I believe, they're legendary status, or, one that is kind of, how do I put it? I don't want to say regurgitated information over and over again, but in a way it is somebody resting on the laurels of a book that they wrote years and years ago, or they wrote a couple of good books 20 years ago, and they've written a couple of subpar ones since then just to kind of live off of old glories. But I'm not judging. Everybody's got to eat, and it's like a, how do you put it? It's like writing your ticket. It's like punching your ticket to write a book. It really is. I was telling a young man, well, he's only 6 years younger than me. I call him a young man. He's really incredible, though. His name's David Starr, and his co-author of their new book, Francesca Rose. She's amazing, too. These two are very amazing ascended souls. Any starseed would be better off for knowing who they were, because if you don't know now, you will soon. You will know, just because, trust me, you'll know who they are, just like you may know who Barbara Marciniak is, and they're light years ahead of Barbara Marciniak, okay? Light years ahead of her. Got my issues with Barbara, but I won't go into it, okay? I know that book as good as anybody that's ever read it, probably as good as she does, and she wrote it, and there's a reason why I do. However, these two have put out a book called Your Higher Power, Accessing Your Divine Gifts. I usually show it in the background here on the broadcast. I'm doing kind of a, just an audio though right now. Okay, but I usually show it. It's on in the background, and I promote the book. The book is worth getting. It's worth reading. It's very user-friendly to read, but yet it's some very important information that will just resonate with you. Most ascended starseeds, it will just, it'll just reaffirm with them in a lot clearer way what they already know, plus add a few more things to it that they might not have considered. Wonderful. And these two will go on to write a couple more books together, I'm sure of it. Like I always say, they probably got another 3 or 4, maybe, who knows, more in them to write together, plus on their own. They've got several on their own individually too. They're going to write. Francesca's already got a deal to do some kids' books, some children's books. I think she's got one coming out at the end of the year already. It's phenomenal, and her channelings are wonderful. David's a wonderful channeler. They're a lot better than I am. I just kind of do it for the love of doing it. I'm mainly myself. I'm an extraterrestrial contactee with the Pleiadians, straight up. My contact started with them on December of 2010, the 28th day of. The story's incredible. Not going to get into it, but if you're ever interested in it, the interview's over on Pleiadian Express Productions. It's about my awakening, and a lady by the name of Bridget Rao interviews me. Bridget used to do a lot of shows on my channel from years ago, and I was very grateful. Her channel is huge. It's 10 times the size of mine. It's called Divine Essentials. She's wonderful. You can tell she's a total Pleiadian soul. And man, I just can't believe it took me months to try to convince her to come on air. I'm like, you gotta come on air. Oh, I don't know. And she did, and she was wonderful for it. She helped run the network for me. And that's why I tell people, I used to but I've interviewed some big name people, yes, especially when I worked for N5D, but my preference was to take people from these groups in Facebook, people that are on these other social media platforms that are awakened souls, but they're not necessarily a household name, and to get them on air and interview them about their awakening, because everybody's got a story to tell. Listen, and people, the only thing that drives me nuts about it is people hem and haw, and they overthink it, and they think, oh, I don't know how I'll sound on air. Well, who cares how you sound on air? You're going to resonate. Somebody's going to resonate and need to hear what you have to say, just so it resonates with them, what they're going through. And not only that, and then they overthink, oh God, this sounds like complicated. I wonder how is the interview going to go? How am I going to be able to get on there? How does that work? Well, it's so difficult that, yes, you have to actually click on a link. What I do is I set the show up. That takes about 3 minutes, 10 at the most if there's a glitch. And I have to go to a backup plan, 10 minutes, but usually 3 to 5 minutes, I'm ready to roll. So what I do then is I just send you the link and you click on it. You have to have that private link to get in the room. Now, people can watch the show live from the channel, but typically most of the viewership comes from afterward, okay? And especially, I don't do a lot of live, just self-talks or channelings. All right, I used to a lot, but my mind doesn't work as quick as it used to. It used to be so quick-witted, but after being out of the game so many years and getting older, it's kind of screwed with it a little bit. But, you are important, and here's what I do. When I interview somebody, I give them the choice. You can either be on audio and video or just audio. That's fine, and that's up to their control. They control that part of it. Okay, and then they can use their name or they can use a surname if they want to. It doesn't matter. If they use their real name, of course, what I'll do is, along with, posting their interview to, I don't know, 20, 30 different groups, sometimes as many as 50 different groups, over a few-day period, different pages, different social media platforms. After posting it there, I can bump up their post with a link to their page that they have or a link to whatever it is they've got going on their website. That's what I do. And, and it's all just for the thanks of you coming on air and talking with me for a few minutes, half hour, 2 hours, however long it goes. See, we don't exist in time on any of these channels. We just don't exist in time. And we just go till it's ready to, I don't know, not until the wheels fall off necessarily, but you know what I mean? We go until we're, ready to end the show. I only script a few things about each interview. I script the first, and I don't really even do this anymore, but still it's kind of scripted, the introduction. I introduce who I am, the channel that it's on, this and that, and then I introduce the guest, introduce the topic, a little bit about them really quick, and then I welcome to the show. And usually I ask them a starter question like, when were you first interested in this subject, and or when did you first awaken, or were you born that way? Okay, so we get into it from there, and I don't interrupt unless it's to ask a question that's, that seems like it might be really important to ask, or to keep the show back on focus. I let the guest shine, I let their knowledge shine, and then the only other thing I script is when we're done, I will tell everybody, I will ask the guest to let everybody know where they can find them if they're interested in knowing more about them, and they'll tell the audience, whatever that they're into, or, if they're on Facebook or whatever they're at, just anything they want to say, and then I'll wrap it up with saying where you can find us, meaning the network, and go from there. And it's real easy. It's real easy to do. It's something, if you're hesitant about it, think about how many people, even if it's just one person you resonated with, and really don't, unless it's going to be some situation where it could get you hurt, physically threatened or something by a family member who lives with you, or it could get you cut off from something that you need from your family. I understand that totally. If you're just worried about your family finding out, I don't really see how that happened unless unless your family goes and looks for Pleiadians and Arcturians specifically. My guess is that aside from you telling them about Arcturians or Pleiadians or Syrians, they probably would have no clue whatsoever for the most part. Well, I know that's true for the most part. There's probably some exceptions, I'm sure of it, but typically that's not the case. But I would encourage anybody that wants to come on to please let me know, and I'll put you on one of the channels, whether it's the Pleiadian Blue Love and Healing #5 channel, whether it's the Angelic and the Pleiadian and Angelic Orbs Collective, which is also a long-time Facebook page I have that will be turning 10 years old on January 25th. That is the channel 4. It's related to and dedicated to the orbs that I channel from Pleiades and have since December of 2011. They were my guides a year into my awakening. I had 2 other collectives before that. I had, for the first 6 months it was nothing but straight up mental telepathy from a ship up in the sky. That's it. The next 6 months it was these liquidy air beings that, I like to call them. They're a lot like Larkma that Pia and Colin, if you know who they are, that they channel. In fact, I'm sure that they were cousins of theirs, or they were them, because I live not too far from where they live. They have 2 locations, Mount Shasta, and they live also in Ashland, Oregon, and I live just a couple hours north of Ashland in Oregon. So I'm pretty sure it was the same collective. And then they were from the 6th dimension. The ship was out of the 5th. These beings were out of the 6th, and then I went right into the orbs for years, and they were 7th dimensional, and I still channel them. It's just that they're not around me like in a physical or like in a visual form constantly like they were from 2012 to 18. But they're still there. In fact, they are not in the 7th dimension anymore. They recently ascended as well. They are in the 8th dimension. Just like there's other ascensions going on out there, folks. The Pleiades is getting ready to drop their 5th through 11th dimension. 5 through 10 is star realms. 11, 12, 13, angelic, pre-angelic realms. 14 and on up is angelic, period. It has nothing to do with any kind of a star system. But you've got Arcturus, who's in the 9th, 10th star realms. 11, 12, 13th, predominantly pre-angelic realms, is where they're predominantly at. They're ascending to the point where they can't really go into another level up at the top end because they're maxed out, but they're going to be any 9th dimensional energy is going to be 10th, so they'll be strictly a 10th through 13th. One high star realm and the rest angelic, and the Pleiadians are going from a 5th. They go from 5 to 11, at 11 with one pre-angelic realm dimension. They're going from 5 through 11, they're going through a 6th to a 12th of existence. And this is just the ascension that's going on all over the universe. Different star systems, clusters, constellations are having this go on. So it's not just here on Mother Earth. Mother Gaia is not the only one. She's the big main feature, though, going on, because this is what everybody's watching really closely. The other ones that are having some ascension events go on, it's pretty much with them, hey, they've been there, done that. Been there, done that, witnessed it. I'm going to quit beating around the bush now. Gosh, I've already talked for 18 minutes. Crazy. Like, who's going to want to listen to me? By the way, I can't stand listening to my own voice, but I do, for research, have to. And I used to be told, though, that, I like your voice, I love your voice. In fact, it used to get me into some trouble on air because, I don't know, it must have been something in the water back in those days. People love my voice, I guess. I mean, I've been told that. I don't think it's worth a shit, and I cringe when I hear it, but that's just the way it is. I think we're all critical of our own voice. It does sound a bit whiny, though. Now, earlier today, I put out a channeling from each one of the Arcturian collectives that I channel, the 13th dimensional Arcturian crystal blue angels, as well as the 12th dimensional Arcturian translucent color realms. And I've talked before about what those two collectives mean, and you can go back into previous episodes if you want to know what they are and who they are exactly, besides the fact that they're Arcturian. Well, they have came to me both like they do on occasion. It seems like more frequently than I've ever had two other collectives before. And they have a joint message that they would like to get out to humanity. So, without further ado, I'm going to do it. It's apparently they want to talk about the collapse or the crumbling of the old paradigm a little bit. I'm like, okay. So I'm going to take a deep breath and I'm going to make way for them. I think I've been talking so much because I'm nervous about what they might want to say. Hello, sweet souls. You're tuned into the Arcturian Crystal Blue Angel Collective from the 13th dimension. You're also tuned into the 12th densities, Arcturian Translucent Color Realms. We would like to share some joint information with you today, just some joint thoughts, and we would like to also say, like we always do, it is a joy to be here with you in this now moment. It is nothing but a delightful thrill. We really feel that way. Any now moment that we get to spend with you is like something that we rub our hands together and just get excited like a kid would in one of your candy stores. We're real pleased with the progress that you've made and just the way that you anchor the light, the way that you hold those love frequencies, those love vibrations in, and you're relentless and you're very powerful, wonderful light warriors. With that being said, we'd like to talk to you a little bit about the old paradigm crumbling around you. Sweet souls, like we had mentioned, it's great to be with you. As you move forward, understand that those who still are not in the light, those whose agendas have thrived in the shadows, they are now being marginalized or forced to just retreat altogether. Everything that you see coming to light is just simply a byproduct of much work that has been going on and on and on behind your scenes for, well, millennia, you might say. We will say this. For many of your years, the vibrational frequency of Earth has been rising to such a degree. And now it's to the point where the lower energies, the dark shadows, the dark ones, can no longer sustain. They can no longer maintain themselves on Mother Gaia's sacred surface. The news and the findings that lie ahead in the days to come will bring much clarification, will clarify the mysteries that lies within some of you as far as this ascension process goes. You will come to understand the intricacies and the cohesion, the kind of interplay, so to speak, between Mother Gaia's evolution and your role within it. As this old paradigm crumbles, the magnificence of your journey will unfold before you. It will unfold before your galactic community. And this galactic community will become more evident as your unique contributions to the divine source flow of all that is, that consciously goes. We, along with many of your other cosmic star family, your galactic family, the alliances, are offering support to you, a steadfast support, even in the darkest corners if you're stationed in the darkest spots on Mother Gaia. Even in your world where chaos seems to reign, we want you to know that every precious soul of the light is being cared for. Despite what appears to be turmoil, there is a higher faction at work. The atrocities the public masses are to witness and learn about are the result of just some final desperate attempts by the dark ones who knows that they're baiting. They're just crumbling away. They're part of that old paradigm that's just slipping into non-relativity. You have never been alone in this process. We know that a lot of you have seemed so lonely, just so unbearably lonely, and it has pained us at times to have to watch this. You have never been alone, though. Never, not even close. You would be surprised to find out how not alone you've been. The entire universe, your entire universe that you exist in, watches over and assists you as you transition into a new reality. Mother Gaia is on the brink of a magnificently wonderful rebirth. A miracle that we have long since been bracing for. The Pleiadians, who we guided for hundreds of millions, if not a billion years, who we guided through their troubles, their triumphs, their dissension, finally to their ascension. They are very enthusiastic about being the leaders in helping with your ascension there on Mother Gaia. They are so excited. In fact, they just want to get you to the fifth dimension and get you through there real quick and get you settled into a sixth dimensional reality really quickly. And even with designs on a seventh, an eighth, a ninth, and all the way up into a 12th reality. They have a tendency to be like kids in candy stores too. They get a little ahead of themselves, but they love you and they mean well, and they are angelic in nature. This existence that you exist in now and that you are going to continue to be in will experience elevated, vastly, and when we say vastly, we mean extremely elevated frequencies, high vibrational frequencies. This will come in forms of consciousness. This consciousness will occur within the original real reality that you exist in on Mother Gaia. Your needs, though, will be met effortlessly. Your scars, your injuries, from a mental and multidimensional standpoint, will heal. The beauty of the source flow of all that is that consciously flows, the divine unity of that will permeate every aspect of life. You will come to know what that source flow is truly like. You will come to feel the joy of being one with that, of being completely 100% in lockstep tune with it. Harmony and abundance will flow completely freely, like an ocean, like a running river without a dam. The agenda of this new era will be one of pure light and pure love. Those that have made fun of you, those that have called you names like woo-woo and fairy and the Sparkle Fart Unicorn community of rainbow riding brigaders, yes, that one too, they're going to be surprised. Their head is going to spin. Do not worry, it's not going to spin all the way off. And in fact, not many of them are going to be joining you. Just to let you know, they're not going to be joining in that mental transition from a state of limitation into boundless freedom. Restrictions that once defined your existence, that embodied who you were, they will fade away. They're going to be replaced by the ability to manifest your desires. Understand, we do not operate in time, dear ones. We do not predict timetables. It is getting closer, that's all we'll say, at the risk of sounding like we're just promising you something that isn't real. But oh, believe us, this is real. Just at the very least, take into consideration what we have said, and remember that we said it. In fact, don't remember that we said it. Remember that you heard it. We are not egotistical like that. Just keep it in mind is all we ask. Through the process of an instant type of a self-discovery, you're going to find that you have abilities and capabilities that transcend and enhance anything you could have imagined. Your full potential, even the most enlightened among you, is going to surprise you a little bit even. From our vantage point, we're in awe at the rapid progress you have made. You are becoming stellar beings. You are doing this so quicker than any other civilization or existence that we have witnessed do this, or that we have heard about go through and do this. You are moving so quickly. You are destined to, at some point in your evolution, just be a pulse of radiating pure source flow consciousness light, crystalline light. That's a long ways off still, though, dear souls. Now we're getting into 12th dimensional color realms territory. Translucent color realms territory here. This awakening very could possibly set you apart from others. We say that very lightly. It probably will set you apart from others who have yet to realize their potential. It also, you must admit, it does fill you with a profound sense of happiness and joy, and like you have a calling as you embody your divine blueprint given to you by the source flow of all that is that consciously goes. This blueprint for millennia, humanity has been bound by frequency controlling, limiting techniques that limit and hinder your capacity to create and innovate. In less restricted societies, where interstellar travel and cosmic collaboration are commonplace, technological advancements are staggering and uplifting. When the consciousness is that high, they're just staggering what's invented. Many gifts from beyond Earth have been deliberately concealed because we didn't think you were ready to handle it. We at the Galactic Federation of Worlds, the Galactic Federation of Planets, the Galactic Federation of Light, the Galactic Alliance, the High Councils of all our different star systems, and our Light Councils, we just felt for the longest time that you were not ready to handle a lot of these technologies, especially after the 2 nuclear bombs were the atomic bombs were detonated on your planet. That really did some damage to this time-space continuum, which has been reported many a time. But now we feel that these gifts are ready to start making their way into your consciousness, into your perception, into your awareness. You are breaking free from the chains of true ignorance. You are embracing a frequency of knowledge, of empowerment, of freedom. Do still be cautious, however. The tools of deception that have been used to manipulate humanity for millennia, such as holographic projections that have been designed and used to mislead and control people, these are just one of long-standing tactics that the Dark Ones use to maintain dominance. These fabricated realities have perpetuated false narratives and obscured the truth. As more of these manipulations come to light, trust your inner discernment to navigate the unveiling, both genuine revelations and ones that are staged. You have heard about double disinformation, dear ones. There's even triple disinformation. That's why anything that you hear, you got to run it through your heart first. Take it and run it up through your brain real quick. Let your brain energy take care of it and look at it. Then once it's looked it over, send it right back down to your heart for final decision. So go in through your brain, go in through your heart, let it think it over. Let your brain think it over. Then once it's done, let your heart make the final decision. That way you can cover every base and you know what's genuine and what's not. And go within and just be cautious in every now moment that you're in. Just play it cool. Don't give it a lot of thought, but play it cool. Every now moment that you're in, think it through. It doesn't matter what the last one brought you. Anything else that you've got in memory, just use it for reference. But not an ultimate decision maker when you're in that now moment. Outdated systems are meant to dissolve you. New frequencies that are coming into your purview disrupt and help to crumble these old paradigms and catapult the evolution of Earth, of Mother Gaia herself, because she is ready. She has been ready for this transformation. And you, her ground crew, her posse, so to speak, are vital to realizing this. Sweet souls, your efforts definitely have not gone unnoticed. We say this all the time. Your cosmic family, your star family, your angelic family, they really do work tirelessly behind the scenes to hinder and get in the way of any harm that might come to your growth pattern. And not only that, we're kind of interested in restoring a little bit of balance to your planet. Advanced technologies are being developed to address pollution repair. Our host here has talked about this before, has talked about all the new technologies and some of the stuff they're going to do. You're going to have technologies that will repair your ecosystems and heal the scars inflicted by human greed. Your technology, and our host has talked about this in one of his solo talks, Human greed has slowed technology back by at least 150 years on your planet. The chaos you witness may seem overwhelming, or that you may have witnessed in the past may have seemed like it was overwhelming. Please understand, dear souls, it was necessary. It was a necessary kind of a pre-show, kind of a precursor, you might say, to the restoration, to restoring the imbalance upon Mother Gaia's surface area. To transmute this process, you're guided, you are looked over and protected deeply. You are cherished, and you are very much honored, and you're sacred to us. The time has been long since overdue for you to fully embrace your role as a guardian of Earth, a protector of Mother Gaia, and an architect, a creator of her future. We're going to tell you to continue to say this is your vigilance, awareness, and unwavering commitment to higher frequencies. We're going to continue to tell you that those are crucial over the next 6 months to the next year. Revelations will come at some point that will affirm the interconnectedness of all life in your integral place. It may have something to do with the number 12. Your 144,000 souls, that is not about 144,000 souls. We just want to clue you in, dear ones. Not at all. It has to do with 12, 12, and 12 to the infinity. 12 universes, 12 galaxies, 12 planets, or 12 solar systems, 12 planets, 12 nations. It has to do with 12 ascended masters, 12 apostles, 12, and I could go on and on and on with the number 12, 12 and 12 and 12, 144, the 144th dimension. There's 144 different realities that go into that 144th dimension, and that's just in your universe alone, which is the second or third youngest in an infinite amount of universes. So you can see that there is so much out there besides just abundance to everything and having a great 5th to 7th dimensional life. It is so wild, dear ones, you cannot even imagine what goes on. It's beyond belief. It's how can you know what you don't even know? It's not even anything you can conceive of at this point. You are an integral part of this cosmic web. These truths will inspire actions beyond belief. Alliances across the entire galactical scope and across the entire universe are aligned to support the ascension going on Mother Gaia at this time. Your planet, her oceans, her air, and her soil is paramount, and the destruction caused by ignorance and exploitation has reacted, and it's reacted, it's reached a very critical point, to be honest with you, dear souls. With every effort you make to raise your vibration and contribute to the light, you also hasten, though. You hasten the healing of Mother Gaia. Know that you're doing this. Your cosmic family is with you, helping to co-create solutions and laying the groundwork for a harmonious future. Sweet souls, these are extraordinary times, and we know that's an understatement. You hold a vital piece to the puzzle. Your piece to the puzzle, you might as well say, is the whole puzzle. It takes all of you putting that piece together to make that whole puzzle complete. A visual completeness and everything completeness. You play a very severe, unique role in unfolding the cosmic source flow of all that is, the source flow of all that cosmically is, that consciously goes. Now we're getting tongue-tied like our host. You are a vital piece of all that is, we'll just say, and we'll leave the cliches up to our host. Trust in your inner knowing. Learn and lean. Learn about the support that you have and lean into it. Help it to continue. Help you to help it to help you continue to rise the dawn, to bring in the dawn of a new earth. It is upon you, dear souls. Let us bring it in together, shall we? We recognize the beautiful, loving energy and love and light vibrations within you. It is your right, sweet souls. It is your right to put this energy with intention, to use this energy with any kind of intention that you were so designed to be able to do by the Creator, by the divineness, by the oneness, and by the source flow of all that is that does consciously go. The world is ready for this reality. You want to help build a focus. Build a focus on your energy. Focus on what you desire. Watch the world transform. Watch the endless opportunities play out and happen for people. Growth and trust are just a couple among these opportunities that are going to be so amazing for plenty on your planet. Just stay focused. You know that you're not alone, but remind yourself of that constantly. You are not alone. You are not alone. You are not alone. You are not alone. We are here with you. Plenty of others are here with you. We were there for the Pleiadians, and the Pleiadians are there for you. We're there for both of you. The Syrians, the Lyrans, Procyon, reformed souls from Orion even, and many, many more that you do not yet know of, are helping you create Procyon, Alpha Centauri, in fact. Vega, they're helping you create a loving existence where the small minutia control things are all taken care of and you can really focus on moving ahead. Once you have your abundance taken care of, once you never have to worry about things like energy, travel, food, water, education, disease, once those things are eliminated, and those are things that should never have been in your purview, once those things are eliminated, though, you can start to focus on whatever it is. You can focus on all that is everything. And with that, we're going to turn it back over to our host now. Oh, wow, that was certainly a lot from those two. I really do appreciate them both coming through, each one on their own today, and then both together, both the 13th dimensional Arcturian blue crystal angels and the 12th dimensional Arcturian Translucent Color Realms. We really appreciate it. And wow, with that being said, I've still got some other work to do tonight. If you want to get a hold of me, you can find me at Rockin' Larry Lockin' social media outlets, or type in on Facebook, the Larry Lockin' Network. And you'll find everywhere I'm available. I think my cell phone number's on there if you want to talk in private. You can get a hold of me if you're interested, like I said at the beginning of the show, of coming on the air at some point on one of the channels. Let me know. I would certainly appreciate it, and humanity could use it. You really want to get in the good graces of the Galactics? Hit me up and we'll talk about it. That's about it. If you want to get a hold of me quickly, the area code is in the United States is 971-425-6747. That's, if you're outside of the country, I believe you have to dial a 1 first. You have to dial a 1, and then, of course, a 971-425-6747. And again, this has been your host. I usually say Rockin' Larry Lockin', but I'll just keep it cool and say Larry Lockin' here on the Larry Lockin' 3 channel with the Arcturian energies at Arcturian Crystal Blue Angels /YouTube. And we're out.